welcome back everyone to Finnegan's Farm, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. On today's episode, it's again Workshop Wednesday. Don't forget to check out our Workshop Wednesday every week. Also on the weekends there, on the Saturday, we'll have other videos that come through. We're actually going to talk a little bit about cattle there this weekend, so if you want to tune in on Saturday there, you'll see the boys at the cattle up in the other yard. So on today's video, we have the 3650s in again, and we've been doing a small bit of work to them. We had that one started from the last time. I know we had an issue with the water pump, but Sean has replaced the water pump, and you can see there on a time lapse there of him fitting the water pump. So Tom is on. What we are here, Tom, we are actually fitting the new mudguards on here. We put the brackets on, and we're putting the new skins on here. So the skins they make a great job with there. They look the part there now. May have to adjust it down a little bit. It looks a little bit high here, but we can adjust it there on the bracket inside. So he's basically just fitting the skins on here. Going all right? Yeah. Okay. So we'll go over then to the other 3650. I think we're ready to start this one. I see jump leads on. The lads have all the bits in place here. So I'm going to press the button here and see, hopefully it will start. Where's the button, Mick? This one here. We have our oil pressure clock here as well, just to double check. Mick is on the stop, I'm on the start. So, you ready to go? Yep. Yeah, so we have, again, we've good oil pressure on it. Lovely sound out of the 3650. You can really hear this one humming away. First tip. We just press the button out there. So if we want to, we're just going to check it here. We're just going to check the PTO. So as we can see, PTO on engaged and PTO off. A high-low, we'll stop it here at the bottom gear. So we just have to stop it there so we can put it into a gear. Which one am I make this? Over. Up.
No, over. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And we'll try one of them, sure.
Go.
Okay, right, we'll start it here again. Hopefully this should spin round. Yeah, so we have our drive going here, and then we have, that's quicker obviously, speeding up, and it slows down. So that's your high-low walking away there. You can hear it there, yeah. We'll just check the lift as well. So as you can see, our lift is working here. And down. Yeah, so we have everything going there. So we have our lift working as well. We have our drives in place. So at that stage, we'll be ready. We put the wheels on the other tractor there. You can start. It looks like more of a tractor now at this stage with the wheels on it. Tom is working away. We mentioned there last week about the fuel sender gauge. One of them was faulty on the bottom tank. Two of them were faulty, Mick, on top and bottom. So we got two new ones, and we're just going to show. So I'm going to get Mick here just to run through it.
This is the old tank unit, and I have the meter on ohms. And if I move the scale, absolutely no change. I'll change over now to the new one. That's our full point there. Now we have a reading, we have 128 ohms. And as I drop that down, the ohms will reduce and go down to virtually zero. Which we are, 2 ohms, 1.9 ohms. That's a quick test on fuel tank sender unit.
Yeah. So Mick's just after going through just a quick test there. It's on resistance there. Once it's on ohms there, you can check the resistance on the diesel tank, on the gauge. That's our old water pump, which we've taken off. We've replaced it with a new one, complete new water pump. You can change the seals inside, but 9 times out of 10 you'll bust them. This is the bracket there for the air conditioning pump that goes on up here. We mentioned there last week we couldn't get them. Marco just manufactured this one, so as you can see, it's probably as good as a new one. We're going to go over to him there now as well. Actually, who else have we here? We have Sean. Sean is working on the 8430. He was greasing it the last day, and all the grease was going well until the last one.
So came across this nipple here and realised she wasn't taking any grease. So under doing a bit of investigating, took the dust cover off and realised that it was extremely dry, and we got this gap here in the rose joint. So I was wondering, I says that probably isn't right. Went round, checked the other one, seen that there was no gap, there was no play. You could fit your standing knife in there. And so talking to the lads, and we agreed that we have to take this ram off here, press the rose joint out, and then also put a new one in and change the shaft then on the inside while we're in there. So that'll be the next port of call for this tractor. And other than that, back end seemed fairly okay. On the far side there was no issues, so just keeping maintenance on the ILS here is the main port of call with this.
Well, once Sean has the bits for that, we'll put that together, put it on the plough, and it's time to grease it up then and put it away then for the winter time. It'll be on the big plough.
So just to show you what we do with the ploughs then, the main body gets the same oil and diesel spray, but the boards then get this grease. So this extra grease we use for the sower. Get the brush and a tray and literally just brush it onto the boards just to protect them because they go all rusty during the winter. The reason, there's no specific grease we use, it's just the lightest one that we could easily just apply. So do all the boards and that, oil up the plough. John B is going to come up then with the A410 when he has it washed and put it away then for the winter. And
over to Marco there. We're on hitches this week, aren't we, Marco? Oh yeah, so we took the 2 hitches off the tractor. They were in a bit of a sad state, to be honest. Pins were worn, holes were elongated, all sorts of stuff here. So we're just in the middle of manufacturing it back to where it should be. We have put new pins here, made new pins for the pickup hitch. We've a new shaft in at the back here. These stubs were missing, so we had to weld them up because they kind of leave it flush with the bottom. And then the arms here, the lift rod's arms. We've tried to get these online and we can't really get them, or they're very expensive. So what we've come up with, we've got a bit of 10.9 threaded bar, and we've made up, these are actually ends off a Cleveland plough for the rods in them. So we had some old ones there, but the holes were good. So we're going to weld these to that, and then we put new tubes on here. Mark was after welding these tubes on the maul here, and that's going to work as our adjuster. So as you can see, we'll have adjustment left and right, or up and down I should say, and that will fit snugly onto here, and we put a cap on it there now. So that's the way it's going to fit. Just to keep it original as we can, we'll probably have to cut this, and then we can adjust it up and down. So it's going to look the job, and then we're going to respray all this and then put it back. Cut this off here, and you've welded this one on, is it?
Yeah, because other ones was very bad. You see, old ones. What was old ones?
So as you can see, the old ones were well worn here, and we just said we'd just cut them off. We got a new bit of piping here, heavy wall piping.
Heavy wall pipes, weld in. Job done.
So on this hitch, we have a lot of wear here on the pin at the back. We've got bushings there. You can buy these little bushings and pop them in, spread them out there, and they'll take up the slack then in the shafts there. These are the old shafts. As you can see, there's wear there on that one. And that one, I don't know, it looks a little bit bent to me. So that's the pickup hitches. Just on the crooks then, dog was flat out here. Must have had a late night, had you? So on the pickup hitches here, on the hooks there, these are the old ones, which were broke, and we have replacements here. Now on these hitches, on the axle hitches, inside on them here, there was a spring. So when you actually lifted it up, it should spring back. As you can see, they're very weak. So what we might come up with, we just bought one of these springs here. We might be able to clip. Sorry, there. We open the bag here. We might use this point here as a hinge point there, so that when we lift the pin back, that it'll snap back itself into place. So that's the story with the hitches. It's there's a bit of work involved in them, but we think we've probably most of the work done at this stage. So
New stoppers.
but new stoppers in here. These are all spread. We've new pins for these. So once we get that all done, we're going to head for the spray shop, and they get sprayed up, and we'll start fitting them later on at some stage. 6910 is still in, I think. One of the hitch rods was the adjusting the adjuster for the hitch rod was seizing it, so we put a new adjusting arm in it. 6910 is, yeah, this is the one actually that you might have seen the last time Caelan was fitting, putting brakes into that, and he showed you there with the filings that going through the tractor. We put the new brake pads into it, we put it back together, we ran it, and we had still some issues there with the transmission there. The gears were a bit sticky, so we actually had to bring it down to Meat Farm Machinery there, where they took out the transmission unit out of it, and it was full of filings, so they cleaned it all back. Some of the pack wasn't, some of the discs need to be replaced as well, so we have it back, and we're just going to do a filter change in here on the back end, just in case any more of the filings, but they completely washed it out. It has been running perfect. We just got it back into the workshop there just to do a double check in it. So, yeah, look, it's very important that this is the tractor that we had, and we didn't have any previous history, but with the John Deere's, it's very important that you keep brake discs, keep checking them all the time. It's a very simple operation. It's easy. They don't cost much to put a disc into them, and it's far easier to put into them than filings going through the whole tractor, because then that causes major issues. So that's it for this week's video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, keep the channel going. We're enjoying it here, this Workshop Wednesday. It's a chance for us to clean up the workshop as well and have the place looking half ready anyway. But for next week, we'll possibly concentrate on actually the workshop itself. We've got a lot of comments to say they like the workshop, they love the workshop. So we're going to show you next week the layout of our workshop. It's not completely perfect, but it's as good as we think it can be. And we'll show you the layout, and if there's any questions then or comments about the workshop, we'll get back to you then on it. Okay? See you next Wednesday.